Now, another way to flood human society with AI technology and to take over human society would be to introduce human-like robots that would do the jobs that humans have been doing up to this point. And how about infusing AI robots into society to the extent that they are actually in people's homes doing tasks, cooking the dinner, whatever. Now, that would be a really effective way of really advancing this AI takeover of human society. Now, who of all people, right, is going to stand up and warn people about this? Campaign against it? Of course, Elon. He says, the danger of AI, it's going to delete humans as we know them, so he's going to be against this, isn't he?
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. I tried for years, nobody listened.
But it doesn't end there. Musk, through Tesla, another company he fronts up, is producing autonomous vehicles. Now, autonomous vehicles need to be electric. And so the push to electric vehicles is being done on the basis that it's saving the world from climate change. But that's the excuse, that's the scam. The real reason is, if you're having autonomous vehicles, they can't be petrol driven or diesel driven, they have to be electrically driven. So your electric vehicle is nothing to do with saving the bloody environment. Just look at the environmental consequences of the batteries alone. It's moving to autonomous vehicles. What does that mean? It means the computer is going to decide where you can and cannot go, and not you in a petrol diesel vehicle. That's what it's about, control. And Elon Musk is at the center of introducing autonomous driverless vehicles through Tesla. Now, it goes on. I came across a long time ago now a man called Dr. Richard Day. I've written about him at length in some of my books, particularly one called Phantom Self, where I go into what he said in some detail. And this is a Rockefeller family insider, red flags, flashing red lights, and used to be an executive of Planned Parenthood, Rockefeller operation. And he spoke to some pediatricians in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 1969. I did one of these videos about it some weeks ago, maybe a few months ago now. And what he said was to these pediatricians, don't take notes, turn off any recording equipment, because I'm going to tell you how the world's going to change, because basically that which he is part of is going to change it. Well, there was one pediatrician, and he did take notes. And sometime later, he did some radio interviews for a website describing what Day said that night in 1969. And the reason he did that is because by then, he could see that what Day said that night was happening. And if you read what Day said was going to happen in the world, including, by the way, we're going to make boys and girls the same, you will be staggered at the accuracy of it. And one of the things he said and kind of emphasized at one point was, we're going to get people living in micro homes, tiny apartments, where basically the population will live in what Schwab would now call the Great Reset. So micro homes, which are happening around the world now, just as they said they would, are fundamentally part of this global cult agenda for the world and humanity. Now, Elon Musk, he gets everywhere, this bloke. Elon Musk is producing these very micro homes through Tesla. And it's amazing that you have this guy and everything he produces and touches and talks about is straight off the agenda of this global cult. What? And just think about it, too. This is one guy. He's supposed to run SpaceX, supposed to run Tesla, supposed to be running Neuralink. He's producing driverless cars, putting satellites in low orbit for the cloud. He's producing the micro homes. He's producing robots. He's producing advanced phones. And maybe it's because, like I said with Harari, maybe it's just because he's brilliant. Maybe he's just an amazing man. Maybe. But Joe Rogan, the talk show host, when he interviewed Musk, was kind of in awe at how this guy could do it all. How did he find the time with all these things going on simultaneously?
Have you all noticed that food has become much more expensive? That shelter has become much more expensive? That energy is more expensive? That many consumer goods are simply unavailable? Can you not see that this is going to get worse if the Deloitte-style moralists have their way? How much short-term pain are you going to be required to sustain? Decades worth? All your life and the life of your children? And all this painful privation is not only not going to save the planet,